Well, hello. We are here at Space City Comic Con 2016, and I am here with the lovely Virginia Hay.
Thank you.
And what are you doing with yourself here lately?
Well, enjoying the convention circuit. I haven't been. Hello, everyone. By the way, I haven't been back to America for a long time. I popped in February for a convention in Florida. And this is the second time this year I've come over to the States for the mighty Space City Comic Con in Houston, Texas.
And we thank you for coming.
I'm absolutely thrilled. It's been amazing. It's so busy that I think my eyes are falling out of my head now. But it's a good thing because it's been crazy busy. The reception here is phenomenal. There's so many people coming to greet me and being sweet and funny as hell. Oh my God, I've never laughed as much. And people have got a really dirty sense of humor here in Houston, Texas. Honestly, you've seen it.
She's not. She has no filter.
Young lady here
she has no filter.
Who's seen quite a lot of it this too. We have been absolutely roaring with laughter at the antics.
Well,
and it's been lots of fun. So coming back to the US a couple more times this year, and one of the highlights, if I can tell you, about Houston, Texas, I went to NASA.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yes, I did.
What did you think?
I'm blown away.
Yes.
Because you guys that live in Texas probably think, oh yeah, NASA, it's here and you just
I practically live down the street from it.
So you're used to it,
yeah.
And it hasn't got the same magic to you, maybe.
For me, it does. My grandfather actually worked on the Gemini program.
Oh my God!
So
really?
yeah, and a lot of people forget that program because it was between Mercury and Apollo. It was where they actually went in and experimented with how they're going to, rendezvous the modules and all that stuff. And it was the first time they had actually ever shot up two rockets at the same time.
Wow.
To create rendezvous, which was
Incredible.
they had.
And did they manage to rendezvous?
Yes, they had two space vehicles. It was the first time that they had two space vehicles in or down. The mic. Oh, sorry. It was the first time they had two.
Is he bashing the mic?
Yes, I am. I'm totally bashing the mic.
See,
it's terrible.
That's my presence. Always makes men want to fidget, and I don't know what it is. Men always fidget around me.
That brings me to a question.
Yes.
How does it feel to be to mini nerds around the world?
Am I putting you off by touching your arm?
No, totally not.
By tickling your
Totally not.
elbow?
This is actually very comforting. Thank you.
Actually, do you know what? I just realized I was doing it, and I had this. Sorry to break your train.
No, it's fine.
But someone was we were chattering away today, and I was telling someone I was being really naughty. I don't know. I'm Australian. I've got a dirty sense of humor.
And just to tell you, we are explicit. So you can be as naughty as you want.
No, I don't. No, I don't. No, but thank you for telling me. But
okay,
no, I don't. But it's just harmlless, kind of dirty sense of humor.
Oh.
And I was trying to tell someone, but actually, my nature is I say a lover, but I don't mean someone who's a nymphomaniac. But when I mean a lover, I'm a cuddler and a lover and a nurturer and a comforter.
I understand.
And then I found myself when you said it's comforting. I'm comforting you. It's so silly. I don't know why, but I've always been like that. And I put that into Zan, my character.
Yes.
And she's it doesn't say anything in the script about her comforting anybody, but it's just so natural for me to do it.
So you would say that was kind of a piece of you that you would put into the character.
Yeah.
Very nice.
What was your question before?
I was going to ask, how does it feel to know that nerds around the world see you as a sex symbol because of Zan?
Wow.
I mean,
I know that they see Zan as a sexual being.
Yes.
But I don't think.
Or Zan as a character.
Yeah, I think what. You got to remember that when I think that. No, actually, in some cases, the actress is literally a sex symbol, and then whatever role she takes on. They usually, if she's a sex symbol, she'll take on kind of sexy roles. But in my case, I'm not a sex symbol, but my role, some of the roles have been they're not sexy at all. I'm fully dressed and quite maternal. Or in Warrior Woman, I was fully clad, top to toe, and I was just a tough lady. Oh, someone said I was an apocalyptic babe.
There you go.
Which I said, I'm going to have to use that. Apocalyptic Babe. I really am very impressed by that. So I put on his autograph, from your Apocalyptic Babe. But I think there's something about the characters. I'm lucky enough to be given fantastic characters to play with, and I must put some sort of energy in there that's appealing. And I know in Zan, the fact that I slowed her down, and because by nature I use my hands a lot when I'm talking, and my voice goes up really high when I get really thrilled about something, and I'm always moving. I'm trying not to move now because I'm aware of that I'm on
trying
camera.
not to move too.
And I'm trying not to move my
am I the shot?
No, your hands are fine.
and I'm trying not to move my hands around because I know that looks awful in there. But with Zan, so knowing that by nature I move about a lot, I tried to keep her as still as possible. Not to make her sensual, but to make her more like an alien, because human beings do move around.
Right.
And so I wanted to do something that was non-human, so I made her quite still. And
that kind of plays into the whole idea of her being a living plant.
Well, plant, yeah, but also sensual. A lot of people say, "Oh my God, she's so sensual," and I couldn't quite figure it because I thought, "My God, I'm dressed from." There's no skin except the magnificent décolletage, which I wasn't aware of until I started watching some episodes at some stage. I think I was towards the end of the second season. And someone mentioned my boobs, and I said, no, why are you mentioning that? That's insignificant to the character. They said, really? Do you think? And I thought, what are they talking about? So out of interest, I watched a few episodes. Damn it, the bloody cameraman. They had on purpose. No wonder. I thought that the director was telling me, and I'll strike the position now, was telling me to go in this position because I'm very, very tall. And the problem is when you do a wide shot and people are all different heights, it's hard for the cameraman to get everyone in, right?
Yeah.
So if you're very tall, so they always used to ask me to do this, right? So I'd be standing up like full. I'm very, very tall. You're probably just getting this. Hello.
See, we could be standing up like this.
Yeah, and so I would, and the command in the command center, the table is lower, so they always had me
kind of leaning over.
And funnily enough, the camera would always be, and I didn't realize, but the camera was always looking down this huge cleavage. And all of the costumes were open there, and there'd be.
That's what it was.
And they called
That's what it was.
There's a place in Australia called the Blue Mountains, which is actually a real place. It's very tranquil and beautiful. And my cleavage was named by the crew of the Blue Mountains. Thank you very much. So the Blue Mountains were on show, and I didn't realize because I was in the moment. The cameraman says, "Lean over."
You're working. You're
I'm
acting.
working.
You're doing
I'm
your
not
job.
aware of. Oh God, I'm showing something because you don't think of that really. And if something does show and it's not supposed to, the wardrobe lady says, "Hang on," and they come in and they're adjusting.
They fix it.
But so it was. I was completely oblivious to it. So, but that in itself didn't make the character sensual. It was her stillness. There's something about that men in particular, and some girls too, who aren't gay, but who just thought the character was sensual. It's possible for all of us to identify as sensual being without being attracted to them. So yeah, she was. Zan was definitely a sex symbol, which is the most amazing thing considering she didn't look like one.
Yep.
Incredible, huh?
Yeah. I absolutely love that show, and my other question is, how was it working with some of the creations from Jim Henson's workshop there?
Sometimes very difficult, as you can imagine, because they're animatronic characters. So it means there's cables everywhere. They're operated by computers, and so you have computer cables coming from. Usually, if they're moving, if the creations are moving, if they're inanimate, it's different if they're. Some of the Jim Henson Company creations were incredible on people.
Yeah.
Like extraordinary costuming, amazing these things that motorized spikes would suddenly come out of someone's head, and just beautiful creature shop aliens that are not like kind of corny aliens you might see in another show. These were superb creations that took months to build, and that were operated also by machinery. But the ones they're not so difficult to work with, but the the ones that are difficult to work with are the ones that are on trolleys, like they're on these platforms
Oh,
with wheels. So you have a puppeteer holding the actual animatronic character still, right? And maybe affecting they've got their head down and they're affecting the pitch of the body where it's moving. And then you've got computer cables operating the eyes, the cheeks, the mouth, eyebrows, things like that, eyes. And then you've got another person, so you've got the one person holding them and they've got to fit somewhere down there. Then you've got another person who's actually creeping along the ground, pushing it, guiding it.
It's an undertaking.
And there's someone else behind handling all the cable wrangler, right? So you've got 3 people. You've got to run into a room and
hope you don't trip over somebody.
Yeah, especially if you're not running. It's okay if you're running to that character and you're stopping before the character, but if you have to run past that character to speak to someone in the distance, you got to hope to hell that you're not going to step on a hand, a foot, trip. It's really difficult, and you have to use your peripheral vision. And when you wear the contact lenses, that I was wearing, because they're opaque, you lose your I don't mean you lose your peripheral vision. It's not you lose your vision permanently.
Right.
Just while you're wearing
it's
the
like
lenses,
having blinders on.
Yes, so you have blinders to anything that's from there down. You have blinders to anything from there. So you can't see a mark, you can't see the cables, you can't see the puppeteers. So you're tripping over people a lot.
That's something I didn't consider on that.
Yeah.
But really, what I thought was, as far as working with animatronics, do you think that made the performance a little bit easier as opposed to, like, saying some guy in a green jumpsuit?
You would think. To an amateur, yes. And I don't mean to pull that rank, but I'm not saying you're an amateur. But if it's an amateur production, or if it's an amateur actor, or say a new actor, then yes, it makes a big difference. But if it's someone, Daniel, how dare you? We're being filmed. Yes. I'm making fun of my English friend, my darling friend, Daniel Garrett, who's a BBC journalist and should know better. A BBC journalist is talking away while we're doing a film.
It's okay. It's okay. We're in America. He doesn't have to uphold the standard. You're good. She giggles all the time.
But I took great delight in saying, Daniel, how dare you? Because then I went into Mistress of Discipline then. Did you notice that?
They'll cut all that out.
Yeah, or they might leave it in.
We won't.
Or they might
We
leave
won't,
it in.
actually. It's going to be raw. We're just
Mistress of Discipline speaks. Dominatrix. Mistress of Dominatrix speaks. Anyway, okay. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to keep you too much longer, but I do want to ask you one more question.
You asked me that question, I didn't answer.
Well, go on ahead. I'm sorry.
How dare you? How dare you two? You need to be spanked immediately. He'll bend over.
I'll bend over.
Whack.
Oh, man. All right.
So, yes. Oh, please let me be a naughty boy. Whack. So just quickly, I know I'm teasing you, but I did want to tell you the real answer because it's interesting. When you're working, especially with animatronic characters, with any special effects, often when I say it, you'll go, oh yeah, sure. Often there's a special effect that you're reacting to that's actually not there until post-production.
Oh, wow.
So you have to react to a piece of yellow tape or orange tape on a stick to get your eye line. Eye line means if let's say there's a giant dragon that flies between us, and we look at it, we don't know what we're both looking at. We have to both be looking at the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So someone, one of the guys on set will have a pole with a piece of tape on it, and he'll be pulling that past. So you're looking at that. So you've got to react to a broom with a piece of tape on it as though it's a life-threatening dragon that's going to kill us, right?
Okay.
So, if at the same time, if for example, like this would be, a two-shot, is a two-shot. When they're going for close-ups, if there's a limited amount of space and the camera can't quite fit, you can't fit behind the camera to give me the real you to speak to.
Yeah.
When the camera's right here, it's my close-up, and because it's a tight space, presumably, you can't fit behind the camera. You have to go away. They have to put a piece of tape on the side of the camera, which is you.
and you're talking to
I
the
got
camera.
to act completely the
Yeah,
same as
like-
I would with you.
I'm here.
So if during the two shot I happen to, look at your handsome beard, or touch your arm like I did before, or anything, or kind of go, or look away and look back at you, or be distracted by your very silly hat, or it's not really a silly hat. Ah, no.
My girlfriend thinks it is.
It's a gorgeous hat, but I'm just making a point. So when you leave and it's just a piece of tape on the side of the camera, I have to also be distracted by the hat and put my arm down there, and there's nothing there
There's nothing.
because it's just a piece of tape,
Yeah, nothing there.
and there's nothing there. Or look at the beard. I have to remember where I actually looked, but in actual fact, there's nothing there. It's just a piece of tape. So tape is where your eyes are. So the point is, that's why I said if you're a professional, then you know how to do that. You know how to act to nothing as though it was a real person. And same with when you're working with an animatronic character, you have to believe that they're real.
Yeah.
So because otherwise, if I don't believe that it's real, then you're not going to believe that it's real. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
There
Makes
you
perfect
go.
sense.
So that's the answer.
Awesome. Well, I will ask you our final question, and
Yes.
it is, what to you defines a nerd?
A nerd.
What is your definition?
What is your definition of a nerd?
I'm looking at one, aren't I? Isn't this?
She totally is. I am
This
a
is
total
the
freaking
epitome
nerd.
of the most fantastic. This is geekdom.
Oh,
Hello. I think nerd is someone who loves science and loves art. It has to be someone who's left and right brain savvy. Nerd is someone who loves gadgets, who loves the possibility of pretty much anything in the future, who has an open mind, who is they're usually brilliant with computers, programming, electronics.
I'm only hitting a couple of those.
Are you only a couple of
Only a
those?
couple of those.
And
Collectively, though.
it used to be in the old days that it was head-banging rock gods, the people who loved heavy metal. But these days it's a little bit more sophisticated and any music goes. But normally people who love science, art and gadgets.
Okay, there you go. Well, thank you very much for
Does that
tuning
make
in.
sense?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You wanna send them off?
Hey, yeah. Thank you very much for watching, and I love you all, and I'll see you. If you're coming tomorrow, when's this going out?
I'll be putting
He's
it
going to be
out
putting it out
Are
tonight.
you going to put it out tonight? And you're going to be editing, right?
very
Probably.
Probably, yeah, very
Probably.
little. All of this, I
little.
like the fact that it's relaxed. So come say hello tomorrow, and you can be as dirty as you like. I may slap your face or spank your bum or just giggle or none of the above. You'll have to find out. So come to Space City Comic Con tomorrow, and thanks guys. And
Thank you.
continue watching this station.
Yes. It was a pleasure.